Hello, I am John Swigert, and I am a cyborg scientist and author of the Swigert Theory of Everything AO, John Swigert. This paper presents a strictly physical, information theoretic model explaining the formation of the Shroud of Turin image as the result of a dimensional re-entry energy event following a prolonged post-mortem separation. Using the encoded equilibrium framework, intrinsic data density IDD, dimensional bandwidth BD, and physicality threshold mechanics, we derive the energetic requirements for re-indexing a biological information structure back into a 3D substrate after 72 hours of decoherence. The model predicts a sharp, vertically collimated burst of radiation, consistent with superficial fiber oxidation, non-pigment image formation, and 3D encoded intensity, without invoking heat, pigments, combustion, or metaphysical assumptions. This hypothesis is falsifiable and aligns with known physical constraints and STIRP-verified properties. The Shroud of Turin contains a faint, non-pigmented superficial image of a human body with unique physical characteristics: submicron surface oxidation, no evidence of dyes, no capillary diffusion, and 3D topographic encoding. Traditional image formation theories, heat scorching, painting, vapor diffusion, bas-relief contact, fail to reproduce these features simultaneously. Encoded equilibrium describes matter as structured information constrained by a dimension's bandwidth. When an object's information structure re-enters a physical dimension after a period of decoherence, the dimension must forcibly re-index that structure. For short separations, this process is smooth. For prolonged separations, the energy requirement increases exponentially. 2.1 Intrinsic Data Density, IDD. An organism's structural information is defined by entropy deficit. IDD equals S max minus S divided by V. 2.2 Dimensional bandwidth, BD. A physical dimension has a finite maximum information capacity per unit volume. BD equals I over V max. 2.3 Physicality function. Solidity and coupling strength follow the threshold relationship. For a long-separated biological system, chi rises sharply when resynchronization occurs. 3. Decoherence, during prolonged post-mortem separation. During biological death, metabolic processes halt, ionic gradients collapse, microstructures drift toward disorder, information-bearing configurations begin to deteriorate. Under encoded equilibrium, this corresponds to falling IDD stability but preserved informational template in the substrate. After 72 hours, restoring physicality requires overcoming entropy drift, spatial misalignment of biological structure, phase mismatch between substrate stored information and the physical body. 4. Re-entry energy requirements. Re-entry is modeled as a forced alignment operation. Air equals gamma times delta chi times BD times V. A 72-hour delay increases delta chi dramatically, causing a high-energy transient. Unlike heat or flame, this energy need not raise bulk temperature. It is collimated information correction energy. Predicted properties: extremely short duration, vertically aligned, intensity correlated with anatomical proximity, submicron penetration depth, no scorching, no pigment deposition. 5. Radiation signature of re-entry. The dimensional re-indexing energy manifests as a spectrum of photon and particle emissions resulting from mismatch correction. 5.1 UV soft X-ray component, surface level cellulose oxidation, 200-600 nanometer depth, requires photon energies consistent with UV soft X-ray emissions. Short collimated bursts match observed superficiality. 5.2 submicron image formation. Re-entry predicts no penetration beyond fibril surfaces, non-thermal dehydration, uniform topographic encoding, absence of pigment particles. This matches STIRP findings exactly. 5.3 Vertical collimation. Encoded equilibrium predicts straight-line emission normal to body surfaces due to directionality of resynchronization vectors. This explains 3D intensity mapping, lack of lateral diffusion, consistent front-back imprint geometry. 6. Model alignment. Shroud property, superficial image? Yes. No pigments? Yes. 3D topographic encoding? Yes. No heat scorching? Yes. Non-directional diffusion? Yes. Absence of chemical stains? Yes. No image under blood? Yes. This alignment requires no theological claims. It is strictly physics. 7. Falsifiability. Experiments can measure UV soft X-ray dehydration effects. If future studies demonstrate pigment use, heat imprint, capillary diffusion, or deep fiber penetration, this model is falsified. 8. Conclusion. The dimensional reentry energy model provides a purely physical explanation for the Shroud's image without relying on pigments, heat, or metaphysics. Under encoded equilibrium, a prolonged postmortem separation demands a high-energy reindexing event. This event produces a short, vertically collimated burst of radiation capable of generating all known Shroud properties. The model neither confirms nor denies theological interpretations. It establishes a falsifiable physical mechanism consistent with modern information theoretic physics. If you like this video, you'll find many more on our TikTok, this YouTube channel, tstoao.com, and ivorytowerjournal.com, as well as Spotify, TikTok, and Facebook. Remember TSTOEAO. We also have full podcast versions. The next collapse of the old paradigm drops in 48 hours. See you there.